From the Opubco Studios at Britain and Broadway, you're listening to a News OK podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Comics Podcast with Matt Price and Kyle Roberts here at newsok.com. We've got, I sent 3 at least somewhat successful launches this week, 2 from Marvel and a new one from Boom. So let's kick it off. First of all, we're just going to say, hey, if you want to go by your store and pick up a War of Kings special, they're free. So no downside there. It's very text heavy. It's sort of a recap of the last year in cosmic adventures, maybe even a little more than a year. The X-Men's battles with Vulcan, sort of a wrap up of what's happening with the Skrull, a little bit about Nova, Darkhawk. So this just basically catches you up what's been happening with the Inhumans, what's been happening with some of the X-Men, the Shi'ar, the Kree, the Skrull.
Basically, that's all it is.
It's just basically a recap that gets you through some of the big storylines of the last maybe almost 2 years. Why do they want you to be caught up? Because starting here shortly is the War of Kings, and they're kind of kicking it off with this one-shot, Secret Invasion, War of Kings, which sort of bridges the gap between Secret Invasion and the War of Kings.
And it's really confusing if you don't know much about it.
Kyle thought there was a little confusion. It is very dense. I mean, it's a very dense comic, and the saga is very dense as well. There's a lot of text to read, a lot of stuff to get through. The basic premise is Black Bolt has now been returned to the Inhumans, and he's taking the battle to the people who imprisoned him. The Skrulls imprisoned Black Bolt during Secret Invasion and replaced him with an imposter. So they're heading toward the Kree homeworld. You're not sure what's happening there. He's also out to get the Skrulls. The Shi'ar are also going to be involved in this War of Kings. So that's what's happening there. It's the big cosmic epic for this year in Marvel. Sort of like the Annihilation and Annihilation Conquest were in the last couple of years. War of Kings is the cosmic epic of this year. It's Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, who have been writing Nova and the Annihilation comics. And it's drawn by Paul Pelletier, who's been drawing Guardians of the Galaxy, also written by Abnett and Lanning. Pelletier does this Secret Invasion War of Kings one-shot.
And just, to me, I'm done with the Skrulls. I thought it was over, but I guess I was here on Earth, and apparently now they're in space.
Yeah, they're back in space. Kyle is scrolled out.
But I'm definitely scrolled out. But, I mean, it seems like an alright comic if you like this kind of thing. I'm also not huge on space comics in general. I like Silver Surfer and, Nova every once in a while. But yeah, what do you think about this one?
I enjoyed it. I think, it's going to depend. Did you get your appetite for cosmic action sated? If not, then there's going to be more in War of Kings. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. But if you're looking for down-to-earth vigilante justice, there's got another option, and that's Punisher #1 that came out this week. Rick Remender is the writer. You've seen him on several things, including Fear Agent. He did some fill-ins on Booster Gold lately. And then Jerome Opeña is the artist.
This is part of the Dark Reign series.
Ties into the Dark Reign, which is where Norman Osborn is kind of made his move and is in charge of sort of the superhero community as far as the government's concerned. He's got his Thunderbolts, and everybody's reporting to Norman Osborn. Frank Castle, the Punisher, says, you know what, he's a bad guy, I'm going to shoot him. So that's kind of how you start out this issue. You've got 2 covers for this issue, one of which has Punisher targeting Norman Osborn, the other one has him targeting the Sentry, who's now working sort of for Norman Osborn. So... and that's an homage to the first Punisher cover on Amazing Spider-Man 129. What did you think of this one, Kyle?
This is my favorite out of these comics because it's basically a classic Punisher. One dude fighting another dude, and as they're kind of going through the city, obviously Punisher can't fly, but Sentry can, so it's just them just kind of attacking each other and him trying to survive.
Rick Remender probably has some high watermarks to attain here because obviously Garth Ennis's take on the character was very well liked, and then Matt Fraction, one of Marvel's best writers, has been writing the character over in Punisher War Journal. So he's got a lot to compete with, but I think they're trying to move Punisher into sort of the main superhero stuff that Marvel's doing right now, and so they're throwing him right in the middle of Dark Reign to see how it goes. First issue I thought worked, so... if you're wanting to see where the Punisher lands in Dark Reign, this issue will get you started.
Sweet.
And then we'll close out with one from Boom Studios. This is called Hexed. The interesting thing they're doing with this, you can read the whole issue for free on MySpace, and they're hoping, myspace.com/comicbooks, they're hoping that will bring you over to buy the book. It's created and written by Michael Allen Nelson with art by Emma Rios, and you've got sort of a semi-supernatural, I don't know, not a bounty hunter, because she's looking more for items rather than people. Yeah, artifacts and items. So she goes on the hunt for these unusual artifacts, and then someone from her past makes her go on this on a different journey for something maybe she doesn't necessarily want to do. So it's got some elements of Hellblazer in it, the John Constantine comic, but I think a relatively successful start. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it picks up. Obviously, it's a new sort of marketing tool. Try the issue out for free, so I suppose no reason not to go over there and take a look at it and see if it's your thing. And Boom Studios hopes that you'll like it so much you'll go ahead and pick up the issues as well. So
sweet.
Those are the ones we looked at this week.
What's your pick?
I probably am going to go with War of Kings. Punisher was also good, but I think if you've been following, say, Nova, Annihilation, the Inhuman stuff, I'm more into some of those characters, I think, than you are. I'm always interested in what Black Bolt and the Inhumans are doing, and I like Nova. There's also going to be a Dark Hawk one-shot that ties into War of Kings, so it'll be interesting to see that character used again. So I'm going to say War of Kings, Punisher, so 2 for Marvel, and then Hex, like I said, also really low risk. Check it out for free. So that's what we're going to talk about this week. So for Kyle Roberts, I am Matt Price, and thanks for watching.